This book wrecked me. It gutted me emotionally, sewed me back together, and healed me. Let's dive into Direbound. Hey readers, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing Direbound. It is a romantasy, fantasy story with an enemies to lovers trope, and this book was written by Sable Sorensen. Now, I found out at the end of this book that Sable Sorensen is a pen pal name for two wonderful ladies who created this book. Their names are Eliza, hopefully I'm saying her name correctly, and Annie. This book is 605 pages. However, I finished this book in 3 days, given that I read at night, and I read it on my Kindle, and it is on Kindle Unlimited currently, and I loved it. So what is this book about? Well, it's about a girl named Marin, and Marin lives in the poorest parts of the country that she's in, or world that she's in. She lives with her mother and her little sister. However, she has a lot on her plate though. She's been taking care of her sister since she was born, and unfortunately her mother is mentally ill, and this hits close to home because I know that feeling very well. Taking care of a parent that is mentally ill while also raising your little sister and trying to earn money is pretty difficult. However, Marin is a fighter. She is a fighter in every sense. She learns how to fight back, how to channel anger into something that can make her money, and fighting has earned her family a little bit of money to compensate for her mother's medical needs and also for her little sister. Now, in this book, there are bounded people within her world, and these bonded people are basically the protectors of humans. And then you have the enemies, which are called siphons, and they are vampires. Now, the direwolf bonded are looked at as a high class in Marin's village or in Marin's world. They are treated differently than the regular Joe in the village or villages. And these direwolf bonded people are going up against the enemy, which are the siphons. And the war has been going on for a very long time. So much so that Marin's father did die in the war. So it's rough. You're raising your little sister, you're taking care of an ill mother, and you're having to bring the bread home, and it's chaotic. All of this changes when Marin's sister gets abducted and kidnapped by what they believe to be the siphons. And that's where the story takes a ride. And boy, was it a ride. She, of course, wants to find her sister and will go through any means necessary to find her. The characters in this book were very detailed. I love the fact that I got to know each one of them in Marin's own eyes. However, I felt that with this story, Marin didn't quite fit in, and she felt like an outcast. She felt like she was obviously the lower class, and these dire bonded people were looked at and respected in their society. So Marin looked at them as, yeah, these people had everything handed to them. These people didn't have to fight for anything. But as she continued on in her journey, she realized that she had more in common than them that she thought. The world building in this book was amazing. I can picture everything that these authors were describing. I love the fact that there's just so much more to this world, I feel like, that is yet to be discovered or yet to be talked about. We learn through different characters that Marin meets in her journey how much they don't know and what is still unknown to her. She's never really had to travel outside of her parameters for anything other than, to get her daily bread for her household. The plot was plotting. I just want to say that out loud. The plot was everything. And the twists and the turns and the betrayals, it was just, I knew the betrayals were coming, but at the capacity the betrayals were coming was just, whew. It's like with each chapter, the plot just thickened, and it was just like, when is this girl gonna catch a break? She's had to deal with so much. To see her get beaten down. She picked herself up and then kicked back down. I mean, the saying goes, what? It's fall down 7 times, get back up 8. Like, this girl got back up each and every single time, and I admired how well written she was as a character. To describe Marin, I picked a little bit of what she says in the book, and I want to read it because this is exactly who Marin is as a character, and she was well written. It says, "I've survived the fighting pits, the ascent, the training. I've survived everything this brutal world has thrown at me. I'll survive this too and find Selah." And if that doesn't describe Marin in 1 or 2 sentences, I don't know what will. Like, this girl survived so much, and she does not give up. She does not yield, and I admired that about her. My emotional take in this book was very deep. It was, I feel like I'm gonna get teary-eyed because there was just so much to unpack here. And I just want to start off by saying that she is a strong girl. She's 23. She barely had a childhood of her own because she had to take up the responsibilities as an adult. She had to be the mom. She had to be the sister. She had to be the provider, the dad. And that is so much to carry as a person. I think that this book captured grief so well. And I just want to give kudos to the authors because you guys placed such a very detailed description of what grief is. And something personal about me, I lost my mom at a very young age, and this book, and I'm sorry if I get like teary-eyed and my voice starts to shake, but this book had me in a chokehold. And I just want to read a quote. It says, "Grief has layers and layers: sadness, bitterness, guilt, regret." And to sum it all up, that is grief. I sat with this book literally and went through the 7 stages of grief. This book wrecked me, opened me. You know, my mom's been gone for 20 years. It'll be 21 years this November. But it opened a wound so deep. And I love the fact that the authors captured so much emotion with Marin because it is exactly how it feels to lose a parent. I didn't realize this, but Marin and I have so much alike. And when the world throws so many blows at you, you pick yourself back up and you dust yourself off and you keep going. And I've never related so much to a character before until Marin. And even when my mom passed away, and unfortunately Marin's did as well, she said, and I quote from the book, "All I can think about is her. Did she suffer? Did she call out for help? I hear myself make a terrible, strange sound. If I'd been here, if I'd been closer, helplessness and rage threatened to drown me." And that summed up so much in what grief really feels like at the moment in time. You think about, did they suffer? What were they thinking? Had I been there? What could I have done differently? And grief hits you in many different ways. It can be a song, it can be a birthday, it can be any little thing. And when people say time heals, they are a liar because time doesn't heal. Time just helps you cope with them being gone, but it doesn't truly heal everything. However, we can find comfort in the little things that they leave behind, their marks, who they were as a person. I love the fact that I went through this journey with Marin, and ultimately, now I just want blood. Now I just want blood, and I want revenge, and I want her revenge arc to be great. And I am so looking forward to it. I know these authors will do justice for Marin. I know it. And I just want to say, if you've ever lost a parent, I feel you. I hear you, and I know the feeling very well. It is not a good feeling, and I hope that no one that reads this book can relate. However, if you can relate, I am there with you. I understand you. So my rating for this book is a 6 star. This is my first 6 star of the freaking year. I can compare this book to Fourth Wing. It gave me the same feeling as Fourth Wing. You're bonding to dire wolves. You have a female character who is powerful, who is strong and resilient. And of course, you have a Xaden. You have a Xaden. But in this case, his name is Stark, and he is an alpha. Yes, he is an alpha. And the perfect way to describe him is with the book. This quote that says, "My psycho asshole, my bloodthirsty killer." That's literally Stark in one sentence. So it is 6 stars because I love the fact that it is like a Fourth Wing / Hunger Games, because Meryn has to survive, and the world building was amazing. And also I can close my eyes and envision everything that's going on around Meryn and her world. Some characters we get to know, but this is only book 1 of the series. Book 2 is actually releasing 3 days after my birthday next year, which is May 5th, 2026. And I am excited. I cannot wait to put my hands on that book and read it. I think I'm gonna go on like a little binge and ask my husband to take the day off, because I want to read that book as soon as it releases. It had the plot. The plot was plotting. It had the characters, which I think we're going to get to know a little bit more about the characters around Meryn in book 2. Hopefully, the world building, the emotional take. For me, I have to somehow emotionally be invested in a book, and I feel like this book captured so many different emotions so well. So I applaud both authors, Eliza and Annie, aka Sable Sorensen. You guys did a remarkable job with this book. I could not put it down. I literally binged it. It was 605 pages. I finished it in 3 nights because obviously I'm a mom by day, reader by night. But I enjoyed every single detail about this book. I enjoyed the suspense, waiting to see what happens. I loved the plot. I loved everything that there was to it. And I think it was beautifully written, and it got me out of that like Fourth Wing slump, and I loved it. I cannot wait to see what other works they do. I can't rave enough about this book. So have you read Direbound, or is it in your TBR? What did you think about it? This book should definitely be in your TBR if you are a romantasy, fantasy, enemies to lovers trope type of person, and also who enjoyed Fourth Wing or Hunger Games. This book is definitely for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of Direbound. And if you're new here, hi, welcome to my soul shelf where we look at books and its soul. I am Wendy, and if you really love my content, please subscribe. It keeps the content coming your way. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time.